Hey, what's up guys? It's Kel with Maston's Tulsa again. Hey, check this out. We've got two different kinds of pipes with me here today. We've got some cast iron. If you don't know what that is, it's been underneath your house since your grandparents were children. We've also got transite over here. If you're unaware of what that is, sit tight because I'm about to explain some things that's going to totally change the way that you think about the pipes inside of your home. Today I'm going to break down both of these pipes, what they are, why they're a problem, and what Maston's Plumbing and Drain can do to help. And welcome to the channel. Don't forget, if you guys learn anything here today that you take something away from, do me a favor, hit that thumbs up, like, subscribe, share with your friends and loved ones. Hopefully they get the same information away from this that you did today. Let's get into it. All right, let's talk about this guy first. Now this is called transite. Transite pipe is actually a generalized term that people used, kind of like how they call adhesive bandages Band-Aids. So transite was the manufacturer brand from John Mansfield. They started manufacturing this in 1929. So it became like a catch-all term for it. All right, so what is it? Well, it's a mixture of cement and sometimes up to 20% asbestos. They used this for drain lines, water mains, storm drains, literally anything that would move basically water underground. You'll see them a lot of the time also inside of like furnace exhaust or water heater exhaust rooms because they're fireproof. I don't know if you guys know this, it's a little fun fact. Back in the Middle Ages, they had rugs made out of asbestos in castles because they could take it once it got dirty and they would throw it in the fireplace to clean it and then remove it after. Fact check me on that. I heard it when I was a kid, maybe it's a lie. This was a real hot commodity between 1930 and 1970s in the Tulsa market. So if your home was built between the 30s and the 70s, there's a high likelihood that you have this pipe somewhere in your home. It could be in your water heater closet, in your furnace, or even underneath your home. So don't hesitate to give Maston's Plumbing and Drain a call for us to come out there and take a look for you. You know, it's no hate, I get it. You know, back whenever this stuff was coming out, it was, like I said, it was a hot commodity. It was a lot lighter than cast iron. They installed about 600,000 miles of transite pipe between US and Canada during that time. And if we really think about it, that's enough to go to the moon and back, and honestly more. All right, so here's where it gets real. These things have a lifespan of about 50 to 70 years. Do the math. If they were installed in the 30s to the 70s, they're either at the end of their lifespan or they are well past it. All right, we got three big problems. They get brittle. These things crack, weather, erode, water seeps in. Boom, catastrophic failure. That's whenever you gotta call us. Secondly, asbestos exposure. The EPA set a limitation of 7 fibers per liter of water. Now, I don't know how much you are comfortable with having asbestos going into your municipal water system. Mine isn't 7, it's actually 0. Number 3, regulated removal. The EPA actually set a limitation on this stuff. If you remove more than 260 linear feet, you gotta follow special waste hazard removal regulations. So you can't just go out in your backyard and just start ripping this stuff out. It needs to be a well thought out process. Professionals need to do this job. Hey look, I get it. We all love our uncles. I've seen what happens when people try to DIY this job. It never ends pretty. It never ends cheap either. And it always requires somebody to make an awkward phone call to the city. Even whenever they did asbestos, they can. Now we can go on to cast iron. All right, now let's talk about this heavy hitter. This is called cast iron. Homes in Tulsa, built around the mid-80s, you're gonna have this in your walls and under the slab of your home. Cast iron is an alloy of iron, carbon, and silicon. They've actually been using this stuff in Philadelphia since the 1800s. And I get it. Your grandmother's cast iron skillet is still going strong to this day, lasts forever. I also cook my steaks in a cast iron skillet. What I also do is condition it after. A lot of care goes into keeping the health of a cast iron skillet going strong. As you can clearly see, we didn't do that here. Cast iron has a traditional lifespan of about 50 to 75 years, with some sources even saying up to 100. Here in Oklahoma though, We don't have the right weather conditions or soil conditions to support that. We actually see a deterioration occur at about the 25-year mark. So again, built in the 80s, as we're recording this, it's 2026. There's about 76 million homes in America right now that have cast iron drain lines in them. That's a lot of ticking time bombs in a lot of people's houses. All right, look at this pipe right here. And don't worry, we'll get Josh to edit the video to where you're like, right on it whenever I say that word. That's actually corrosion, and that is the #1 killer of cast iron. So what happens? Internal corrosion occurs. What that is the sewage that's running through this pipe, it creates hydrogen sulfide gas, which in turn then goes into sulfuric acid. The sulfuric acid then eats away your pipe. It's doing that while you're asleep. This hole right here is actually the bottom side of this pipe when we removed it. Sewage pipe has fall, and then there's always that channel that rides on the bottom of your pipe. That's where the rot starts to occur. We see it all the time, where the bottom is just gone from these cast iron lines. Secondly, rust buildup. So as this corrosion is happening, don't forget that it is also a metal pipe. So rust forms. As that rust forms inside of the pipe, it starts to choke the internal diameter down, and that's why you get those backups so consistently over time. Again, we'll get Josh to give us a good view of this pipe over here to where you can actually see the inside of this line as well. And another thing, cracks and pinholes also start to form, and in turn start to dump that sewage, water, and gas into your home. Slabs are not immune to stench of raw sewage on a cast iron system. Crawl spaces are the worst, but slab homes get it too. You'll also start to introduce roots into your system, which wreak havoc, expand throughout the years until you get a collapse occurring. You also can get pests in there. Anybody know what those gnats are inside of your house? It's a good chance they came through an opening in your drain line. Circling back to the roots, the root cause, complete collapses occur. That is where you start to get the sewage spots in your front yard. If it's on the main, that horrendous odor that you don't know where it's coming from. Anybody ever played find the smell in your house? Is that just me? You do it, it's usually the refrigerator, the trash can, or somebody didn't bathe the dog because it was their turn, they didn't want to do it. Sometimes it's also your sewer line has failed under the slab of your home and is leaching that water out, and you start to smell it. Here's the big one that nobody wants to hear. Liquid drain cleaners. A lot of liquid drain cleaners are made with sulfuric acid. That is not helping the solution to your drain problem. It's adding to the problem. You're pouring acid on an already failing line. It's kind of like putting a Band-Aid on a bullet wound, and the Band-Aid is also a bullet. So Tulsa, here's what to watch for, especially with cast iron. Calling a plumber out more than once a year to unclog a drain. Something else is going on. That is not normal. Sulfuric odor, smell in your home, rotten egg, you probably have an issue also. Any wet spots in your yard, you need to call us out there. All right, I don't want you stuck there thinking, well, Kel, what do we do about all this? Well, that's where Mastin's Plumbing and Drains process kicks in. Let's go over it. First, we're gonna run a camera down your drain line. We're going to identify what kind of pipe you have, the condition that it is in, and identify any problems that are going on inside of that line. And then we're gonna go over some solutions of how we can fix it. We're gonna sit down with you. We're gonna go over the footage together so that we can show you what's going on underneath your home. There's no scare tactics and there's no upselling. It's just an honest review of your home's drain system. If it can wait, we'll tell you that. And if it can't wait, we're gonna tell you that too. So depending on the situation, we're gonna give you options for like a full replacement, a repair, and we're gonna use modern PVC. This is what you want. This is Schedule 40 PVC. This is what we replace all that cast iron, transite pipe with. This is the industry standard. We're also gonna do safe transite removal. It's done legal Again, it's done safely because us and our team are important to us as well as you. And we can also go over preventative maintenance plans so that you're never caught off guard. So again, Tulsa, if your home was built pre-80s, there's a very strong chance you've got one or both of these pipes in your home. I'm not saying it to scare you, I'm just saying it to educate you. That way you know what's inside of your home and how to go about protecting you, your household, and your family. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to drop a comment below and tell me what kind of pipe you have inside of your home. Let's talk about it. Another thing you can do is share this with somebody in your Tulsa community so that they can also get educated on what they may have in their household. Another thing you can do, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss the next one. We're pumping out real video content with a lot of information and knowledge for everyone in the Tulsa community. Lastly, if you are interested, you do not hesitate to call Mastin's Plumbing and Drain. If you mention this video, we're gonna come out and do a free camera inspection for your home just to let you know what you got going on. Look, we're local, we're licensed, and we're not going anywhere. All we wanna do is provide value to our Tulsa community. Again, thank you so much for watching. Share it with others, like and subscribe.